Hey team, welcome back to the next part of the fall semester review. This is questions 27 through 45. Let's get started. Okay, question number 27 has several parts to it. So the first part says, in planning for the upcoming regional girls tennis tournament, Coach McCarter looked at her players' statistics from previous 2 months. Okay, so it says, write each tennis player's record as a ratio of the 1 to the total. So they want to know how many did they win to the total amount. Okay, so if we look at Sarah, she won 7, but she played a total of 10 games. So that'd be 7 out of 10. And then Sophie won 15 games out of a total of 20. And then Grace, here I'm going to put G over here for Grace because I'm kind of running out of room. Grace won 12 games out of a total of 18, and Cecilia won 8 games out of a total of 10. Okay, so based on their records, which player should Coach McCarter choose to attend the regional tournament? Well, obviously you want the best player. So we can automatically mark off Sarah because Cecilia right here has 8 out of 10, where Sarah only has 7 out of 10. So we know that Sarah is not the best because Cecilia clearly beat her. Well, we can scale Cecilia up to be out of 20 so we can compare her to Sophie. So I can multiply that by 2 and multiply the 8 by 2 gives me 16. Well, we still can see Cecilia is doing better than Sophie. So, because Sophie only had 15 out of 20. So now we're down to Grace and Cecilia. So we can find a common multiple. I know that we can multiply this by 5 to make it out of 90. And then multiply this by 5, which gives me 60. So we can go back to the 10 because the 20 is not going to go to 90. 10 times 9 is going to give me 90. And 8 times 9 is going to give me 72. So we can clearly see that Cecilia had the best record. So she should be the one that the coach picks. And then it says rank the players in order from least to greatest. So 12/18 is, we could simplify that to be 6 out of 9, which can also simplify down to 2/3. And then if you're comparing that to 7/10, because that's the one I'm looking at right now, is this could be 20/30, where this would be 21/30. So Grace is the worst record. And then we have Sarah, yes, Sarah. And then we would have Sophie. And finally, we would have Cecilia. Okay, on number 28, we have a double number line. So the first thing we need to do before we answer the questions, we need to read the story. When building a single layer of wall, a mason needs 9 cement blocks. For every 12, complete the double number line. So remember, on the number line, you have to count by the same amount each time. Well, I know that this is 12. So if you're not sure, take a guess. 6, 12, nope, that wouldn't work. What about 3, 6, 9, no. 4, 8, 12, so 4. So this is counting by 4s. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, and 44. Because it's counting by 4s. Same thing down here at the bottom. If this is 9, 2, 4, no, 3, 6, oh, 3's count. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, and 33. Sorry. Okay, so the first question says, how many blocks are needed for a single layer that's 16 feet long? So here's the length is up here. So 16 was 12. So the answer for A is 12. Question B says, how many would you need if it was 4 feet long? Well, 4 feet was 3. How many blocks are needed for a single layer that's 36 feet long? Well, 36 is right here. That would be 27. If a mason uses 18 blocks, so that would be right here is the 18, matches with 24. So it would be 24 feet. Okay, so if you fill out the number line, these questions should be pretty easy to answer. Okay, question 29 has a part A and B on this one. So it says that Miss Doris is a teacher in a toddler room at Kids Unlimited. She is buying toys to fill the classroom. And she created this table, and we need to complete the table. So we can see that to get from 3 to 6 is times 2. So we do 5 times 2, which is 10. To get from 5 to 15 is times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. So 15 times 2 is 30. And then 15 times 3 is 45. So 9 times 3 is 27. So how many toys will she buy if there are 15 children? Well, you know the ratio is 3 to 5. So 3 children to 15, or 5 toys. We have 15 children. 3 times 5, so I would do 5 times 5. So this gives me 25 toys. Okay, what if she had 36 children? Same thing, 3 children, 5 toys. This is all being pulled from right here. Okay, and she has 36 children now. 3 times 12, so 5 times 12, which is 60 toys. So we're just doing proportions in these problems. Okay, we are looking at questions 30, 31, and 32. Eva is shopping for scented candles. She finds a variety box has 6 vanilla. Scented, which is right here in this visual, 6. Vanilla, 4 raspberries, and 2 cranberries. So calculate each value using the model. So if Eva purchases variety boxes to have 12 vanilla scented, how many cranberry will she have? Well, this ratio up here is 6 vanilla to 2 cranberries. If she gets 12 vanilla, they want to know how many cranberries. So this was times 2. So we would do times 2, which gives us 4 cranberries. Okay. Eva purchases a variety box of 6 cranberry scented candles. They want to know how many raspberry. Well, if we have, we look at the cranberry, there's 2 cranberry to every 4 raspberry, so R and C for cranberry and raspberry. It says they have 6 cranberry. We want to know how many raspberry. Well, 2 times 3 gives me the 6, so 4 times 3 gives me 12 raspberries. Okay, Eva purchases enough variety boxes to have 36 candles total. How many raspberry scented would she have? Well, so we need to go through and count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total candles. So you have 12 candles, and in that 12 candles you have 4 raspberries. But she has 36 total candles. So we know 12 times 3 is 36, so 4 times 3 is 12 again. So she would have 12 raspberry again. So just set up those proportions and label them. Like this was the total, and this was the number of raspberry. This was the total. This was our raspberry. The labels need to be the same on top and on the bottom. Okay, so we are on, I don't even know if this one has a number beside it, but we're on this problem. It says each model shows a ratio of DVDs to boxes. Which model shows the same ratio? I actually really like this. So first off, it has to be DVDs to the boxes, to the books. Sorry, I keep saying boxes. I mean to say books. DVDs to books. So in this model 1, we have 3 DVDs to 6 books. So DVDs, books. The next one, we have 1 DVD to 4 books. Notice I'm putting labels because it helps us stay organized. 2 DVDs, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. And they want to know which ratios are the same, which means equivalent. So we can see that 3 3 DVDs to 6 books can also be written as 1 DVD to 2 books. So, because by dividing this by 3, dividing this by 3. Okay, but this one is 1 DVD to 4 books. So these two are not. So let's do this one. This one can be divided by 2, and also this one can be. So this is 1 DVD to 4 books. So model 2 and model 3 are the same. So if you're not sure to begin with, always simplify, because ratios can be simplified similar to fractions. Oh, we are on to my favorite part, probably of the review, is ratios or proportions. So all you're doing is finding the missing proportion. So if I have 3 baskets and I go to 12 baskets, we know that's multiplying by 4. So that means we are going to multiply the 40 apples by 4, which gives us 160 apples. Okay, next we have 35 and 36. So same thing. We are trying to figure out how do you get from 18 to 108. So you might have to do some check and guess. So like maybe you said, okay, what about 18 times 4? Well, that gives me 72. Not enough. So try 18 times 6. 8, 4, oh look, that worked. Why do you do that? So that would tell me that this is times 6. Sorry, my pen was messed up for a second. And then this would be 1 times 6, which gives me the 6. Same thing, we have to think about 11 times what gives me 143. So you could try different things like 11 times 12, 11 times 13. Let's try 11 times 13. Just because we need it to end in the 3, and I know 1 times 3 is 3. So 3, 3, placeholder, 1, 1. Oh, look, that worked. So this was times 13. So 1 times 13, that would be 13 miles. Okay, this time on number 37, you should notice that it is scaling down because it went from 15 to 3. When we scaled down, we divide. So 15 divided by 5 gives me the 3, so I would need to do 40 divided by 5, which is $8. Okay, next on 38, we are also scaling down from 112 to 56, which is divided by 2. So 7 divided by 2. I know some of you are like, wait, you can't divide 7 by 2. Yes, you can. You'll just have a decimal. So if you think about it this way, 2 can go into 7 3 times. That leaves you with 6. Add your decimals. Bring it down. 2 goes into 10 5 times. So it's 3.5. Okay, next we went from 5 to 1. So that's divided by 5. So 60 divided by 5 is 12. Next, you have 3 going to 1, which is divided by 3. So 48 divided by 3 is going to be 16. Okay, 41 says, a painter used drops of red paint and 45 drops of white. So that's important. 20 drops of red, 45 drops of white to make the certain shade of pink. How many drops of white paint should he add to 12 drops of red paint to make it the same shade? So your first ratio is 20 red to 45 white. But he has 12 red. And we need to figure out how many white do we need to add to that. Okay, well we can see that 20 does not go to 12. So you might have to scale it down first. 5 can go into both of these. So this could be, 4 red for every 9 white. And I know that 4 can go to 12 by multiplying by 3. 9 times 3 is 27. So he will need 27 white. You could draw a double number line, but you can answer these questions whichever way you want because no one's going to tell you how to do it on the actual test. Okay, question 42. Alberto is in charge of making lunch at a summer camp. He knows that 3 tuna casseroles will serve 15, and you can see that right here, 3 to 15 in your table. So complete the ratio table. So to get from 3 to 1, we would divide by 3. So 15 to 1 would also be, so that'd be 5. So 1 casserole serves 5 campers. So to get from 5 campers to 30 casseroles, that's times 6. So 1 times 6 is 6. So to get from 5 casseroles to 35, you would do times 7. So 1 times 7 will give me 7. So you would need 7 casseroles to feed 35 campers. Okay, question 43. Pablo is buying movie theater tickets. The graph shows the ratio of the cost to the tickets. Okay, ratio is cost to tickets. Cost is in dollars, tickets is down here. How much will 7 tickets cost? Well, we have to look at what we know. We have this point right here. And I'm actually going to zoom this in a little more so we can see. So we're trying to find the cost of 7 tickets. I'm going to write that to the side since I zoomed it in. We want to know how much it cost. Well, here I can see 2 tickets, so I know 2 tickets. And that cost is right in between is right in between. So if you think they're counting by 5, if it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this is 12, 14, 16. So 2 tickets cost $16. So I could think about, well, that means 1 ticket is $8. So to get 7 tickets, I would need to do 8 times 7, because 1 times 7 gives me 7. So I do 8 times 7, which gives me $56. Okay, number 44. Because it was so hot outside, at the tennis tournament, 2 out of every 3 spectators in attendance bought a bottle of water. So remember, ratios, we should be thinking part out of a whole. So if there are 270 spectators, that's a whole amount. So in the ratio they gave us was 2 out of 3, and 270 was the whole amount. So I have to think, how do I get from 3 to 270? Well, I know 3 to 27 is 9, so if you add the 0, that would just be 90. So 2 times 90 gives me 180, so the answer to A is 180. Now it said if they sold 70 bottles of water, how many spectators? So once again, we are 2 out of 3. So this was question A. I'm on question B now. 2 out of 3. 70 drink water. That doesn't mean all of them, so that would be 70. We're trying to find how many were total. So this would be times 35. So I would need to do 3 times 35. So if we don't know that off the top of our head, we can come over here and work it out. It gives me 15. Oh, 105. So 105 spectators would be the answer for B. Next, if they sold 202 bottles of water, how many spectators were there? So once again, 2 out of 3, we have 202. Okay, so you're still having to think, how many am I going to multiply? So this would be 101. So I would multiply this by 101. Gives me 303. Whoops, 303 spectators. Okay, question 45. You were just completing the number line, the blanks below. So we know that 1/5, so to change 1/5 to a decimal, we could divide it. We could do the numerator on the inside, the denominator on the out. So 5 cannot go into 1, add the 0. Decimal, 5 goes into 10 2 times. So we can stop there. So this would be 0 and 2/10, which would be 20% if you move the decimal twice. So remember, number lines count by the same amount. So if this is 4/10, that would be 2/5 would go here, and 4/5 would need to go here, because it's got to count by the same amount. Okay, so we have 4, so 3/5. Another way you can do this is think about 3/5, and if I need to make this out of 10, that is times 2, which gives me 6/10. Darn it. So that would give me 0 and 6/10. Okay, and you should see a pattern, 2/10, 4/10, 6/10. So this last one is going to be 8/10 for 80%. So, and 4/10 here is 40%, and 6/10 is the same thing as 60%. Great job for watching the video. There will be more videos finishing up tomorrow night. I'm going to stop at this point tonight. I hope all of this helps you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in tutorials or in class tomorrow.